Traudl Junge was one of the intimate circle who were with Adolf Hitler at the moment of his suicide in the bunker deep under Berlin in April 1945. Like Hitler's mistress, Eva Braun, Traudl Junge was a Bavarian. To further her ambition to be a dancer, she moved to wartime Berlin. At first, she worked as a typist in the Reichschancellery. In January 1943, Hitler decided he needed a new private secretary. Traudl Junge was 22 years old. Now, if I understand it right, he didn't expect you to take down shorthand, but he expected you to type what he said directly onto the typewriter. Can you remember the first time that he gave you dictation in that way?
I was so nervous that when he began to speak, I couldn't reach one type right. I looked at my paper and it was just a foreign language. And I was so desperate, but in this moment there came in, the servant knocked on the door and said, "Oh, mein Führer, there's a telephone call for you. Mr. Ribbentrop wants to speak to you." And so I had time to recover. I was calm again, and then it went on right when he dictated. I excused me and said, "Beg your pardon, the beginning is not right." And he said, "It doesn't matter, child." And he was very friendly and pleasant, and so I got out and had my work done, my first work. Once a year he made a sort of recreation time, and we all go to the Berghof. I was prepared that on the Berghof would be the first meeting for me with Eva Braun. She was the mistress of Berghof, and all people knew about her, but nobody talked about her in headquarters. But in Berghof, we had to meet her and we had to accept her in the right way. There was Hoffmann often invited because he was full of stories and anecdotes and jokes. And I remember one time Hoffmann said, "Mein Führer, I have to tell you a joke. I tell you, I put you a question." And he said, "There is you and Göring and Goebbels standing under an umbrella. Say, who will get wet?" Hitler said, "I don't know, that's a stupid question. Who? I don't know." And Hoffmann said, "Nobody, because it's not raining at all." And Hitler said, "It's such a stupid joke. I can't laugh. What shall I don't understand, Hoffmann. You get cyanide. And Hoffmann said, "But mein Führer, the man who told me this joke is now in Dachau." And Hitler was upset and said, "It's impossible. How can you tell such a lie? It's impossible that he is in Dachau." "Yes," said Hoffmann, "my Führer, he is, but he lives there. He has his flat there." And Hitler was very angry, but laughing angry, and said, Hoffmann, you get old."
So an oblique, joking reference to a concentration camp like Dachau was okay. But I think you told me that any reference at all to what was being done to the Jews was completely taboo. For instance, what happened to von Schirach's wife when she complained to Hitler about what she'd seen on Vienna railway station with a trainload of Jews who were being deported?
Henny suddenly began to talk about her experience on the station in Vienna when she saw a train full of Jews and deported people. And she said to Hitler, "Mein Führer, it was an awfully view, and I was so very much upset how they were treated, and do you know that, and do you allow that?" And he fallen silent and absolute silent, and shut he let his mask fall down, and the friendly smile vanished off his face, and he stood up and went to bed. And Henny Schirach was never again invited.